Hi, it's Mike Panja, and today we're going to make popovers. Now these are special rolls that are sublime, beautiful, elegant. Yet surprisingly, they're pretty easy to make, so that's what we're going to do today. Now one of the questions that might come up is, do you need the special popover pan to make popovers? And the answer is yes and no. This is in keeping with my philosophy of not requiring my followers to use any special equipment, to buy any special equipment, except maybe for a stand mixer and a tortilla press, perhaps a pizza peel or the French rolling pin, a coffee grinder, the ravioli press that we used, pizza stone, which I recommend you use if you make pizza, the French press for great coffee, of course, the automatic tea kettle, which gets your water to the right temperature, or the food processor. Did I mention the cannoli forms or the pastry bags? I didn't think so. You know, on this matter of a popover pan, I always try to make it easy on my subscribers by giving you an alternative to any special equipment that I use. Usually something that'll work just as well or nearly as well. In this case, however, I have never had any luck with a muffin pan making true popovers. They look okay, they're browned on the outside, they puff up, they look very presentable, but when you cut them open, they're solid inside. They don't have that bubble effect, that hollow, delicious structure that we want in a popover. So this is the one time I recommend, if you really want to make popovers, you get the popover pan. Let me give you a brief explanation. I am neither qualified nor interested in presenting a class on thermodynamics, but I've got a couple of things to show you. A muffin pan has relatively shallow cups and a pretty decent taper where it gets wider on the top. It also has basically a plate of metal joining all the cups together. Whereas a popover pan has fairly narrow cups and are nearly vertical. There's just a little bit of taper and are not connected by a metal plate on top. Now here's the difference. The heat entering to create the bubble in the popover has a longer way to go, so it's not as effective to get to the center of the batter. And then as that bubble rises, it meets up against what's basically a heat sink. This plate is drawing heat away from the top of the cup, which again slows down or stops rising of that bubble. Whereas the popover pan has no connection on top, no heat sink effect, is narrow. The heat energy goes straight through. It doesn't have far to go to get to the center of the batter. That bubble can swell up and grow, and the heat is not drawn away by the plate on the top. I hope that explains it. You can make something that's presentable and edible if you use a muffin pan and follow the rest of the directions. But it's not a popover. It's not hollow in the middle the way it ought to be. Sorry, I wish it were, but it's not. We'll start with a few preparations. Place your 4 large eggs in a bowl of hot tap water. Next, we'll melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Now in the US, it's pretty easy to hack off tablespoons because our packaging is marked in tablespoons. And preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 230 Kelvin. We're going to put this together in a blender. We'll start with the 4 eggs. One and a half cups of warm milk. 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now we'll run that till the eggs are well distributed. I'm going to measure out 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. Blend that a bit. Now to add in the melted butter. Now spray your popover pan. And pour a steady stream of batter into each cup till it's 3/4 of the way full. Into the preheated oven they go. After 20 minutes, we're going to go down to 350, which is 170 Kelvin. And give it another 10 minutes. Time's up. Let's see what we've made. They look impressive. As soon as they're out of the oven, pierce each popover with a paring knife to vent the steam. There you have it, popovers. They're elegant, they're neat, they'll go with just about any meal you want to serve them with. They're sure to get you applause and praise when you present them. You can also make them savory. You can add spices, you can add cheeses to the batter. You can make them sweet if you like. Make them a dessert item. Add brown sugar and a little cinnamon. You can vary them in many ways. They're really fun to do. Okay, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again next time. I hope you'll remember to hit share on this video and bring some of your other friends that are interested in cooking and videos into the fold. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you again next time.